Social Studies Learning Module. Learning Outcomes. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe India's location and extent, locate India on a map of Asia and identify and name its neighbors, name the different states and union territories of India and locate them on a map. Describe the physical regions of India and name the major rivers. Analyze how the physical features of a place influence the lifestyle and occupations of people living there. Let's begin. Anoop, Siri and Maya were playing a game. They took turns choosing the name of an object or thing. Then, with their eyes shut, they had to draw it. Whoever drew the object most accurately won a point. The one with the most points would get to eat the last piece of cake they had baked that afternoon. The cake was delicious, and all three of them wanted that final piece. One after another, they drew a tiger, an elephant, a car, their mother, a clock with all 12 numbers, and a peacock. At this point, each had won 2 rounds. They were evenly matched. Their mother, who was the judge, was enjoying the game. She smiled and said, "Okay, this is the final round. Whoever wins this one gets the cake." Maya glanced at the cake. She wanted it badly. She turned to the others and said brightly, "Let's draw our country, India." Location and extent of India. Bharat is located in the southern part of the continent of Asia, north of the equator and east of the prime meridian. As a result, it lies in the northern and eastern hemispheres. The Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degrees N, passes roughly through its center. India is a large country with a total area of 3,287,263 square kilometers, making it the 7th largest country in the world. It extends from 8 degrees 4 N to 37 degrees 6 feet in latitude and 68 degrees 7 feet E to 97 degrees 25 feet E longitude. Its land frontier is about 15,200 kilometers, and its coastline, including the Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep Islands, is around 7,516 kilometers long. To the north, India is separated from the rest of Asia by the towering Himalayas, which form a natural barrier. On the other three sides, India is surrounded by oceans and seas, making it a peninsula. The Arabian Sea lies to its west, the Bay of Bengal to its east, and the Indian Ocean to its south. India's neighbors. There are many countries that share their borders with India. Do this activity to find out which they are. Political divisions of India. India, as you just read, is a large country. To be able to administer it efficiently, the country is divided into 28 states and 8 union territories, UT. While the states have their own governments, the union territories are regions that are directly governed by the central, union, government. The division of India into states was largely based on the main language spoken in each region. Physical divisions of India. We read about the different kinds of landforms in the previous chapter. Examples of almost all these landforms can be found in India, making the physical features of the country rich and diverse. The country can be divided into 6 major divisions based on its physical features: the northern mountains, the northern plains, the Thar Desert, the peninsular plateau, the coastal plains, and the island groups. Let us look at each of them in turn. The Northern Mountains. The Northern Mountains are a series of towering mountain ranges that run parallel to each other across parts of North India. The two main ranges that make up the northern mountains are the Karakoram Range and the Himalayan ranges. We will study the Himalayan ranges in this lesson. The Himalayas are the highest and youngest fold mountain ranges in the world. Most of its higher peaks are permanently covered in snow, which is where the name Himalaya, meaning an abode of snow, in Sanskrit, comes from. The mountain ranges span approximately 2,400 kilometers from west to east. The Himalayas influence life in India in many ways. Historically, the Himalayas have formed a natural barrier between Central Asia and India, helping India preserve its unique culture. They also affect the climate of India by blocking the southwest monsoon winds from moving northwards towards Central Asia and causing heavy rainfall in eastern and northern India. They also protect the northern plains by blocking the cold winds that blow from Central Asia. The mountain ranges play a vital role in the daily lives of the people who live there. They influence the clothes people wear, the food they eat, and their livelihoods. Terrace farming, livestock rearing, and tourism are important occupations. However, like many other mountainous regions, the Himalayas too face challenges such as earthquakes, glacial melting, and landslides. The Himalayan ranges also continue into Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, and China, and include some of the planet's tallest peaks, such as Mount Everest, 8,848 meters in Nepal, Kanchenjunga, 8,586 meters on the border of India and Nepal, and Nanda Devi, 7,816 meters in Uttarakhand, India. Figure 5.8. The river Bhagirathi at Gangotri. The Himalayas are the source of many major rivers, including the Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, and Indus. These rivers support agriculture, provide drinking water, and sustain millions of people. The Northern Plains. The Northern Plains are a vast expanse of flat land that lies between the Himalayas in the north and the peninsular plateau in the south. Formed by the deposition of alluvial soil brought by major rivers like the Ganga, Yamuna, and Brahmaputra and their tributaries, the northern plains of India are one of the most fertile and densely populated regions in the world. These vast plains cover the states of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal, and parts of Assam and the UT of Delhi. The northern plains have played an important role in the economic and cultural development of India. They are home to major cities such as Delhi, Kolkata, Lucknow, Amritsar, Guwahati, and Patna. The flat terrain has also enabled the development of an excellent network of railways and highways, which connects the region to different parts of the country. Agriculture is the main occupation in this region. The fertile soil, combined with a favorable climate and an extensive irrigation network, supports the cultivation of rice, wheat, sugarcane, and pulses. The Thar Desert. The Thar Desert, also known as the Great Indian Desert, is located in the northwestern part of India, mainly in the state of Rajasthan. It is a dry and sandy region mostly covered by large sand dunes and some rocky outcrops. The Thar Desert has an arid, extremely dry climate. The region gets just around 10 to 50 centimeters of rain in a year. Summers in the region are very hot, while winters can bring near freezing temperatures. As a result of the dry climate, only a few plants like cactus, shrubs, and thorny bushes grow here. People in the Thar Desert depend mostly on herding animals, and on trade and tourism for their livelihood. The lack of rainfall and the dry sandy soil of the desert make it difficult to grow crops here. Camels, which can endure the extreme desert conditions, are commonly used to transport people and goods within the desert. The Peninsular Plateau. The Peninsular Plateau covers most of south and central India. It has a rugged and uneven terrain, with many low hills and rocky outcrops. The Peninsular Plateau can be divided into two main parts: the Central Highlands in the north and the Deccan Plateau in the south. Low ranges of hills called the Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats run along the western and eastern edges of the plateau respectively. Major rivers like the Narmada, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri originate here. These rivers are rain-fed and have seasonal flow patterns. They usually run dry during summers. Agriculture is the main occupation in the region, with cotton, sugarcane and millets being important crops. Mining and quarrying are also important activities, as the region is rich in coal and minerals like iron ore, manganese and bauxite. Several important cities like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Pune, Indore, Bhopal and Nagpur are located here. Let's do it. 21C. Critical thinking, visual awareness. Look at figure 5.18. What does it tell you about the nature of the rivers in the Peninsular Plateau? Do you expect this river to look different at other times of the year? If so, when? The coastal plains. The coastal plains of India are narrow strips of flat land that lie between the Peninsular Plateau and the sea. The western coastal plain lies between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea, while the eastern coastal plain lies between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. The eastern coastal plain is wider and flatter than the western coastal plain, which is narrow and rocky. Many rivers, like the Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri, flow into the sea through the eastern coastal plains, forming deltas at their mouths. Farming, fishing and trade are important activities of the people living in this region. Important ports like Mumbai, Chennai, Kochi and Visakhapatnam are located along the coastal plains. The islands of India. India has two main island groups, Lakshadweep and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Lakshadweep lies in the Arabian Sea, while the Andaman and Nicobar Islands lie in the Bay of Bengal. Both groups of islands are of vital importance to India, for trade, tourism and defense. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands lie between South and Southeast Asia, making them an important center for trade. India is building new ports and shipping hubs here to improve business with other countries. Lakshadweep, on the other hand, is located near the important shipping route between West Asia and Southeast Asia, making it possible for India to assert some control over this vital trade route. Military bases and airstrips on the islands keep India safe from possible threats from other nations. Thus, by extending India's maritime boundaries, the islands help secure the nation's extensive exclusive economic zone, EEZ, protecting its resources and security.